Hello, our viewers. Welcome to Mugold's Fire Safety Channel again. Today we have David Mubita. David Mubita is a Zambian student who recently graduated from African Leadership University here in Kigali. David witnessed a fire incident, a car fire incident, recently on 25th of August. And in this video, he's going to share with us his experience of that incident. As we always say, it's intended to give some lessons, to provide some lessons to the public that fire is very dangerous in any kind of situation. This was a car incident, and you will see what happened, and David witnessed it firsthand. So we are going to learn from David what he saw. David, you're most welcome.
Hi everyone.
Are you all right?
I'm very much fine.
Okay, welcome. Welcome to our channel, the Fire Safety Channel.
Yes.
Which is intended to educate people about fire safety.
Yes.
Please tell us what you saw on the 25th of August. How did it start and what happened thereafter?
Yes, very happy to be here. And of course, we're here to share knowledge and experiences, so that we can educate ourselves. So on the 25th of August, I was at a friend's place in Gisozi, near the memorial. Yes, we were just really, chatting. We've just had lunch, and we were interacting with a friend of mine from Cote d'Ivoire. And then while we was sitting in the house, I started perceiving something that was smelling around. And I sensed that there was something getting bad. Now, as I was realizing that actually it's something that might have not just happened, which is small, but something actually huge, I told my friend, I was like, no, there's something really smelling. Let's check it out. When we opened the window, we realized that there was indeed a huge smoke coming. We were on the third floor of that apartment. And when we looked down, we started seeing a mob of people running towards where the smoke was coming from. So we realized that actually it was fire. And then I told my friend, let's go and see what's happening. As we came down, we actually found that there was a whole car engulfed in the flames. And people were just there, they started fuming. As you can see in this video, there are a lot of people actually, standing dormantly, idle, and we can see that there were policemen there, traffic policemen that were controlling the traffic, and had started making calls for the fire brigade. But before that happened, there was really a lot of people just surprised. And I think instead of taking any actions, people were literally just really fuming. As you can see in this video, really, like people are just really fuming around.
Okay, David, how long did the response take, and how do you rate the response? If you, the emergency response, if you could rate them from poor to good to excellent, how long did it take, and how was the response itself?
Yeah, based on this case, as you can even hear in the video, that people are quite a little bit skeptical, and they sound surprising that there was a bit of delay in terms of how the fire brigade team would have gotten there, how soon they would have gotten there. So for me, I think I would say really, even on behalf of everybody around, we would actually rate the, response in a way that it was quite poor, given the fact that it took almost forever for the fire rescue team to arrive. Yes, and I think you could tell that there was a bit of lack of images, sense of images. So everybody was really just complaining, and there was surprised that, it took almost close to 5 and 7 minutes actually, or even 10 minutes that the fire response team did not really come on time. So that quite really shocked most of us. And yeah, it was just another experience, because what we've have experienced, for example, in different parts of the world, we realized that the fire rescue and response team, they kind of arrive at scenes within a short period of time. and when they arrive, there's that urgent action that is usually taken. But for this experience, it was quite different.
So when they finally arrived, how was their performance?
Again, that was another shock for me. And for just records, this was my very first fire incidents experience here in Kigali. The response was, I would say, very, very minimal and very, very slow. I wasn't expecting that. When even the fire brigade vehicle arrived, nobody could notice that it has arrived. It was very silent, just like it's like a normal vehicle. I think in different
basically came
circumstances,
silent without any sirens.
Yes, I think in circumstances like that, you'd actually expect to hear the siren of a fire brigade even a few miles, from the scene. But no one really noticed that the fire brigade was coming here. So I think there was that lack of sense of urgency and also awareness, because people needed to be alerted that there's a fire brigade team coming, right? So when the car arrived, it really just parked. As you can see in this video, I think everything was recorded even when the fire brigade was arriving. You can see that the fire marshals there, they are getting off the car very slowly, very calmly. And as you can see also, they are literally struggling to figure out how to release the water to come out of the pipe. And you could tell that there's really a little bit of hesitation there, And also what really most shocked me is after the fire marshals came out of that car, of that vehicle, you realize that there was actually one person who went to hold the fire pipe, the water pipe. There was one person who went to hold the water pipe. And now, in my mind, I'm like, I know the pressure that comes with that water. How would one fire marshal person afford to hold that? That's impossible. And then, not only that, you could also tell, I'm sure you're watching this video as I react to it. It took almost another 3 minutes for the water to come out from the pipe. So that for me I was like, okay, this is not normal, and it's very dangerous in a sense that this is an emergency. And imagine if, there was a person in that car stuck somewhere. I think that would have really caused a lot of problems. Yeah, so for me it was really a shock. I would say everybody around that scenario, that place, I think they were really sort of like panicking. They were shocked because they expected to get much of like urgency, The delay for the water to come out from the engine, that is really worrying, because if anything, the least we could expect is immediately when the fire marshals come out of the vehicle, they hold onto that pipe, the water should come immediately and shut down the fire. But it took another 2 to 3 minutes waiting for the water to come out. There was even a point, as you can see, that that officer is putting the pipe down again. They're going to check again what's wrong with the fire, with the water supply there. So those were like really small delays, and that really shocked people in terms of how the fire marshals responded to this case.
David, from what you're describing, you saw it happening.
Yes.
Did they manage to save the car?
Absolutely. Regardless of the delays, I think they were able to, the water finally was able to be released. And as you can see, that the water is now out, and people are now even helping to carry the pipe. I think that also shows really the, Ubuntu, and also the unity around people here in Kigali. They don't just let things, they don't like neglect things. I think they could see that there wasn't enough manpower for the fire marshals. So of course it's our responsibility as we the citizens to actually assist. And that's why we have like different men there around holding the pipe and also assisting. I think that's really great. So the car was the fire was shut down, and yeah, there was really, I think, much damage even though. Yeah, so I think the key there was really to actually, I think, I mean, people should learn from actually these experiences, even just by watching this video, to actually realize on the mistakes that could have been avoided, and how best we could prepare ourselves for the next cases, because you might never know when fire comes. It just comes from nowhere. Yeah, I think, and that's why we are recording this video. It's really for public awareness and for education purposes.
So, David, what lessons do you think? What lessons should drivers and the general public take from this incident?
There were really a lot of lessons. First of all, personally, I've become very fire aware these days, very conscious about fire, and I think it's because of now that I'm, working hand in hand with organizations and companies such as Mugots. And I think I've learned how to really, be able to sense even fire, the dangers. So I think the lesson that can be learned from this is that, first of all, we need public awareness. We, the public, need to educate ourselves. We really need to be very aware on how we should respond to fire emergencies. You can see that the first thing that people did when they saw this fire is to run towards the fire. That is a bit skeptical and very dangerous, right? It shows that people may not be aware of how to respond to fire emergencies. Well, running towards the situation of the fire is not an issue, but going there and doing nothing, to start watching, it's very dangerous. I think it would have been more appreciative if people were running towards the fire and trying to shut it off, or trying to get the fire extinguisher to turn off the fire, but people were running towards that and they were watching, which is very dangerous. Another lesson, I think, from the authorities, the fire marshal personnel, I think the lesson in this case is there's no perfect timing to actually have sense of emergency. I think whenever you're called upon to react to a fire emergency, no matter how small it is, they should always be on top of their games. They should actually be confident enough to ring the silencer, let people know that there's an emergency, and actually let them be able to react very fast, and for the public, they should also be aware in terms of how can they shut down this fire when it's too small, because that could have been avoided by just simply, having a fire extinguisher in the car or nearby the shops, because you can see that there are shops around this fire. Someone could have just gotten a fire extinguisher and shut down the fire when it was still in the smoking phase, before it came into flames. So there were really a lot of lessons that people can learn from this. And one of the biggest is really just about awareness, how to respond to any fire emergency, no matter how small or big it is. So awareness is the very key lesson that we need to really educate ourselves on.
So from what you saw, the fire started very small, and because of inaction of either the people around or the driver of the car or the emergency response themselves, the fire grew big, and then ended up destroying the car.
The whole bonnet there, the engine, I think, really got damaged. Yeah, because there were even some explosions that were coming out from the car. Boom! Boom! And that was very risky for the people.
That's very dangerous for the people around.
Very dangerous, because now I'm thinking, if this was a tire that was bursting, exploding, it might even be a metal, glass, hitting a citizen, anyone who was close by. So I think it's important that people keep their distance from such fire cases.
Okay, David, thank you very much for your experience. Sorry about that. I know witnessing such an incident is not easy.
Yes,
it will,
yes. It's very
it will
scary.
probably take time to get out of your mind.
Yes.
But thank you very much for sharing that. And we wish to empower the general public to make sure that whenever they witness such an incident, either in the vehicle or in the building, they should always share with us, because
Definitely.
the purpose of this whole channel and is to share experiences, to make sure that we raise public awareness. Fire incidents are becoming very common here in Kigali, be it in buildings, in vehicles. So we should really be aware and be able to respond whenever there is a situation like that. We should learn. Drivers should carry fire extinguishers, but they should also learn how to use them.
Absolutely.
So we thank you very much, and please, we really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you very much.